Hello and welcome to my first build guide for Mass Effect Andromeda. Today I'm going to be showcasing the Krogan Vanguard. I was lucky enough to unlock this class very early on, and I've been trying several different playstyles since unlocking him, and I think I've landed on one which fits mine the best. I will disclose that I've only got my Krogan Vanguard at level 16 right now, so I haven't had a chance to try a maxed out build, but I feel like I've got enough experience in gold difficulty and game time with him to release this. Oh, and the gameplay you are currently watching is at gold level. So let's get right into it. The first power you're going to be wanting to spec into is Biotic Charge. In my opinion, you should be maxing this one out first, because the rank 6 Bastion evolution is incredibly strong and will boost your survivability immensely by granting you 75 damage resistance and 30% damage increase for 5 seconds, while also giving you 100% of your shields back after a successful charge. Rank 4, I chose Damage and Force to increase the likelihood that the enemy on the receiving end of the charge will be staggered, and Rank 5, Weapons and Melee to give some synergy when finishing enemies off. It may seem counterintuitive to choose this evolution over Power Damage, because in Mass Effect 3 you generally charged and then used Nova, but once you put more points into Nova in this game, it actually becomes more beneficial to use Nova and then charge, so this leaves the increased power damage a bit obsolete. I will explain this a little later though. The next power you should be aiming to max out is Nova. This is quite a bit different from the Mass Effect 3 Nova that we're used to, in that it doesn't consume shields when used, it isn't a power combo detonator anymore, and it actually works through hard cover. The evolutions I've taken are Rank 4 Damage and Force, Rank 5 Anti-Shield, and Rank 6 Seismic Nova. Honestly, until you reach Rank 6, you'll primarily be using Nova to stagger enemies after coming out of a charge, just like you would in Mass Effect 3, or for finishing off enemies with low health. It isn't until Rank 6 where the utility of Nova really shines. Rank 6 Seismic Nova allows Nova to prime enemies without a shield for biotic detonation in its effective radius, while also knocking unprotected targets down. This drastically changes the playstyle from what we're used to be doing, because now it's more effective to actually lead with Nova before charging an enemy. Of course, if the enemy's at medium to long range, then a charge is going to be necessary to close the gap, but when holding an area or playing closely with a team, then leading with Nova is going to maximise yours and your team's damage output. Rank 6 Nova is also where the previous ranks, Anti-Shield and Power Damage, are going to become much more useful to you. When breaking a shield with Nova, it will prime a biotic combo on that enemy. It only won't prime if an enemy has shields remaining after the Nova has registered, so naturally we want Nova to be breaking as many shields as we possibly can. It's also worth noting that Nova will prime on armoured targets as well as normal health targets, but it only won't prime if there's shields left on the target. So generally my fights go something like this. Nova, Biotic Charge to detonate, unload on the enemy with a shotgun, then melee or Biotic Charge again to finish them off. You'll notice that when I charge, I do often back off though if I know I can't finish them off right there and then with my weapon or face, and the reason for this is that a lot of enemies can stun lock you with melee or have stun locking abilities such as the Berserker's Flat Cannon. This is devastating for the Krogan, and most Vanguards in general, since their survivability is directly linked to their ability to replenish shields at a button press, or to charge out of a sticky situation. Using the jetpack to retreat from an enemy minimises the chance that you'll be stun locked, in which in turn minimises your death count. Moving on, Fortify is the third skill, and honestly I just recommend leaving 1 point in it. It's not worth the point investment, in my opinion, to get the later, more useful ranks such as Unmoving Defense. You do get 45 damage resistance with the first point, and only 18% sprint penalty, which is a pretty good trade-off if you ask me. If you do decide to spec into Fortify for whatever reason, then I'd recommend getting Rank 4 Mobility, Rank 5 Shield Feedback, and Rank 6 Unmoving Defense, as this will help out when doing objectives. However, as I said, I don't recommend putting more than 1 point into the tree. Moving on to passives, you're going to want Power Damage, Ammo and Targeting, and Power Specialist. Nothing much to say here other than you'll be on the move too much to take advantage of aerial combat training, and Power Damage, Force and Recharge will be much more useful to you than extra weapon passives will be, due to this being a power heavy class. And lastly, Rage. Rage is a signature Krogan ability, and it's mostly a passive tree in the sense that Rage won't really trigger or be active until you have the rank 6 Berserker evolution, at least on the higher difficulties. What we want to be squeezing out of this tree is as many survivability perks as we can get, so we want Resilience, Regeneration, and Berserker. Melee combat isn't all that prominent in the higher difficulties, so Silver and Gold, and maximising your survivability definitely takes priority over that. While I haven't had a chance to try out Berserker myself, I have consulted with those who have tried it, and I'm told it's very useful to have as it will automatically trigger when you're at 33% health rather than having to get 3 melee kills within 30 seconds. So this will synergise with the damage reduction and health regeneration that you get from Rage, which should allow you to retreat back into cover safely to fully regenerate your health and shields, or allow you to sustain fire for a little longer than you usually would. So, to summarise the order of points, you want to be putting a single point in Rage and Fortify to begin with, and then you want to max out Biotic Charge to rank 6, followed by maxing out rank 6 Nova. Take Apex Training to rank 3 after that, and then max out Rage before maxing out your passives. Now that the power spec is out of the way, let's move on to weapon choice. You really want to be having as low a cooldown as possible with a high burst damage weapon, so shotguns such as the Talon, which is categorised as a pistol technically in this game, or the Piranha will work best. Failing that, a low capacity high damage pistol or even an assault rifle such as the Falcon would work well too. The weapon is really just there for filling in between power usage, so do keep that in mind when making your selection. As for equipment, the Juggernaut Shield is a no-brainer and can be obtained from the store at the cost of 120 mission credits, and consumables which increase weapon damage, power recharge or shield bonuses will be best suited to this character. Anyway, that concludes my guide. I hope it's useful to some of you who have just unlocked the Krogan Vanguard or have an interest in trying him out. It's an incredibly fun and powerful class to use, and it's easily one of my favourite kits in the game so far. I'll let the gameplay play out, as it's one of the better games I've played with the Krogard, and I think it'll be really useful for some people to see how I handle objectives in higher wave encounters. Anyway, thanks for watching, and I hope you enjoy the rest of the game.
Hydra!
Tapping into civilian comm traffic. We need to take out their uplink devices. What problem got?
No shields!
Time to go. Get to the extraction site. Squad member down. Squad member down. Tough mission, but you made it through.
You gonna call it a night?